Hello and welcome to John's Author Diary for the weekend in May the 19th, 2019. I'll be honest, I didn't feel like doing this podcast this week. I have felt rough all week. I am absolutely sick of this chest infection, this whatever it is that I've got. I feel like I've had it for about 3 weeks and I've not been able to shake it. It's one of those things that just gets me down and makes me feel quite frustrated. I've had a bit of a mixed bag of a week in terms of the writing. So I have launched Strength and the second box set for the Ravenglass Chronicles. So that brings together episodes 5 to 8. And then in terms of actual writing, I've written the first draft to a non-fiction book. So I figured I'm going to write a bunch of non-fiction books that I can use as an extra source of revenue while I'm writing my fantasy. The serial itself isn't selling very well, so I need to do something in order to make some cash. So when I do eventually re-release these as novels, I'll be able to pay for covers and things like that. So it's a bit of a desperate times kind of thing. So I'm writing a book, which is called Podcasting for Authors. I'm going to do a few more books around the theme and rewrite sections of the book. So I'll have maybe like podcasting for newbies, podcasting for businesses, that kind of thing. So I'll have a think about how I can tailor the content to different audiences. I'm also going to be unpublishing my book, Stop Booking Around. So this is a book I've written to help people complete their first novel. I've added some more chapters to it. I'm going to expand it and change the title so it's more in fitting with the type of things that people will search for. So I think I'm going to call it something like Finish Your First Novel, something like that. So people who are looking for that kind of thing will be able to find it. And so I've brainstormed quite a few different ideas for non-fiction books that I can write on subjects that I know enough about just to be able to do them very quickly. So with the book on podcasting, for example, I wrote the first 8,000 words for that in one writing session, and then I've written about the same again in another, and I've added about 4,000, maybe 5,000 words to the Stop Booking Around book. So I'm probably going to come back to editing the next Ravenglass book in a couple of weeks. I think I just need to focus now on getting these non-fiction books ready for an edit so I can get those out as quick as possible. In podcasting news, I released the latest episode of the Sci-Fi Roundtable, so this is a deep dive into steampunk. It was a really interesting discussion, so do check that out. I've been carrying on reading the Kevin Kelly book, which is called The Inevitable, and it's actually very good. It's very well thought out. It's this kind of speculative non-fiction about what's going to be happening in the future and the kind of trends in terms of AI and things like that. Now, I think I'm about 9 chapters in, and I think there's 12 in total, so I'm quite the way through. And it does paint a future which, to me, seems quite dystopian. I think there's a lot of ways for these things to go wrong. And I think over the next few years, we're going to approach a point of very tightly controlled internet. And I've seen the first signs of this with Google's Chrome. So over the last few weeks, Chrome has disallowed you from using ad blockers on their service. You have to pay to block adverts. So one of the unintended consequences of this is this actually annoys the crap out of people who are visually impaired, who maybe can't see the very slight crosses that they have on adverts and things like that. So it makes the internet experience a lot more difficult, a lot more frustrating. It messes around with screen readers. It's very annoying. So I have moved from Google Chrome now to Opera, which has a built-in VPN. Its ad blockers are excellent. So it's just nice to be able to use a clean internet. So as well as the Kevin Kelly book, I have been reading a book called The Sudden Appearance of Hope by Claire North. This is a really good book. I really like this. So I'm about 2/3 of the way through that. And the premise is the main character is immediately forgotten by people. So they'll talk to her, they'll converse with her, they'll see her, but then when they walk away, they forget her immediately. And so she's able to use this in order to become a thief. This is one of those books which is shelved in the literary section of bookshops, but it's clearly sci-fi. So I do recommend checking that out. I've had no questions this week, but if you've got a question, please do email me. It's john@johncronshaw.com. I had loads of happy birthday wishes last week, so thanks to everyone who sent those. If you want to support me, you can go onto my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/johncronshawauthor. And hopefully next time I speak to you, I will have gotten over this bloody chest infection. So until next time, cheerio.